Okay, this is just a small program demonstration of my house control via Crestron. This is the main layout, volume on the top right, some status icons on the top left with weather, time, date, so on, navigation bar on the left, and this is just the house control, which there's obviously not a lot there. There'll be more stuff later, this lighting, locks, whatever. We'll just quickly go through there. This is the multi-room section. Room select. I'm going to move back here. Room select here shows the rooms of the house. Little icon to go with it. I think I got about 7 in here. Yeah, family room. And then on the side here you got the sources. So right next to me is the master bedroom, so you could actually probably hear it. Turn it on to, let's say, XM. So this is the media player. It takes a couple seconds to load. It's not the quickest thing. In the right, presets with random presets I've set. Usually I'm classic vinyl, but it was on the pulse. Volume bar on the right with the status gauge underneath. Then your typical categories, channels, so on, and AM FM is pretty much the same thing with presets and just basic tuner controls, so on. There is an iPod there that you can browse the usual list and so on, and then AirPlay, an online media player, but there's not a whole lot available on the, say, NSP1. Has online Sirius XM, and you can't plug in a hardwired iPod, but who cares? Another cool thing here is in the room menu you see the volumes of all the rooms that are on, and if I do this share sources, I can turn it on to around the house and refresh the menu, and then I can kind of adjust the volumes without switching the rooms. Like right now I have the master bedroom active, but I can change the volumes in different rooms without having to actually switch. Like if I change the kitchen, now the kitchen's obviously up there, and then back to master bedroom and so on. So I'm going to turn that off and the whole house off. There it goes. Fresh menu, gone. So all the rooms are off. This is the video section. 5 zones of video, although only 2 are actually programmed right now. This is kind of neat what I've thrown together here. I got the source list here. Obviously I'm missing something there, the background for the bottom icon, but each room dynamically shows the available sources available in that room, and then if I switch to, say, the gym, it's going off an HDMI matrix switcher with only 4 sources. So it's got my XBMC player, the Cogeco cable, PS3, and Wii U, which is what I have on the switcher, and then smart TV. And as you see, there's no other sources. So another cool thing I've done here is that the room control, this is kind of a little glitchy, but in terms of like the feedback there, I'm working on it. Basically, depending on what video zone you're in, it's hardwired controlled to I don't think the sleep timer is working right now. No, I got to do that, but it has a sleep timer, so you can set it on for an hour or whatever, and the controls pop up when it does turn on. It's got a display control, so you can open up the menu, play around with the settings of the TV, whatever. Change the input if you just plug in a computer or something. Just manual control of that display in the room you're selected in. Like right now it's gym. and then the light control of the gym, like the one that's in there. So you can turn on the light like that, although once again I'm working on the feedback, which is not working 100% right now. And then if I switch to the family room, it has a receiver, so you now have the receiver controls pop up, so you can open up the menu and play with the settings, whatever. Same with the display. You got the sleep timer, which I have yet to program, and then the lights actually work, which obviously the lights were left on. I don't actually have shades or a fireplace. That's just kind of me playing around. So the shades, you could click on there, and it would move the shade to wherever you put your finger, or just basic up, down, raise, lower controls. And then the fireplace control for, well, this idea was a motorized fireplace mount where it brings the TV out and down and then back up. Usually that's automated, but this gives you manual control. And I can also have two more under there for like fireplace control, in the sense of like the actual fireplace, turning it on and off, which I've done in some places. So this room control goes purely based on whatever video room zone you selected. Next is the lights. Here you have, as you can see, the lights going on and off with my finger, which is kind of cool. On off for each load. I don't really have any rooms with multiple loads, but you can have a room with multiple. Like this shows 3 in a page, and then you can go side to side to go through difference of three loads at the same time. This is the room control down here. Here you have some scenes, so bright, entertain, mood, and with one light it doesn't look too impressive. When you have a room full of like 6, 7 lights, and you can have them all different levels for each scene, it's kind of cool. And you just kind of hold it to set. So you just set whatever dim levels you want for the room, and then when that lights up, it's set your scene. So once again, if I have more loads, it's a lot more impressive. The room select here shows all the rooms in the house, if they're on or off, and if they're on, if it's just purely on, or if it's on a scene. You got whole house on and off, which the exterior lights are excluded because they go purely off a timer. Which I don't know. Yeah, we're good. Anyways, I'm going to turn the office light back on. The other cool thing here is the scheduler and vacation scheduler. Here I have the days of the week, the months of the year, so you can choose what they are. I don't know, I can't think of a scenario where you would only want it certain days of the week, but I guess if you want it for different, like weekdays and weekends, you can have 2 different ones. But basically I have front exterior on and off, rear exterior is on and off. So as you see here, I have the lights turning on at sunset, plus or minus 0, so basically right at sunset. Which is cool because it dynamically changes throughout the year. I haven't touched my exterior lights in probably 2 years now, if not 3. And then I have it going off at 2 a.m. That's easily changeable. Just change that, whatever, and then you just hit save. No, I'm not going to do that. So, and then down here, the vacation mode, which is kind of cool. It actually records your lighting usage of the house for a week, and then when you go on vacation, you just hit enable playback, and then it will play back the lights as if you're home the last week you were there. So if you come home at 5 and turn the lights and go to bed at 8, 9, whatever, it will mimic, it will basically copy your last week of light use, which is kind of neat. I think that's basically it for the lights. Thermostat, I'm going to revamp this one day. Basically set point, heat, cool. You can do auto dual zone. I don't even know if I programmed that yet. Obviously the schedules right now, it says current schedule, weekend sleep. Here's where you set it. So weekday wake, weekday wake, 8 a.m., 10:30 a.m., return, so on, and you just basically set it here both for weekdays and weekend schedules, and then you have the heat set point and the cool set point, and then the time adjust, and then you can remove it if you want to just be done with it. And then I have an away button, which I'm going to program more into, because I'm going to have it so you can go away and you can set your coming home date. So if you're coming home on the 20th, you can have it come back on that morning, and then when you come home, your house is already cool or hot or whatever the scenario is. Intercom, I don't believe I've done much of anything here. Doesn't look like it. I think I've done, let's see if I can call my phone. I totally forget my number. I'll try one. No.
Your call cannot be completed as dialed.
Yeah, I totally forget. I normally can have a list on the side here with different extensions throughout the house, because I got like this phone right here, a bunch of these little wireless deck phones around the place. I got my cell phone on there via the GrandStream app, which I was using Bria before, but what can you do? But this obviously needs a bit of work, and I think I might have done something in these settings. Nope, this definitely needs a lot of work. Security cameras, I think are the same thing. I haven't done much of anything for it. I tried making this little cool selection menu, but obviously I haven't done much of anything. Door locks is where kind of things got cool. So when you first select it, it shows you your locks that you have in the house, the names, if their status, if they're locked or unlocked, and their battery life, and if if auto relock is set, shows the time. And you don't see it because there's not one here, but in that area right there, underneath each one of them, would be an alert if there's a problem. So it would show a little alert sign, and it would pop up saying, I don't know, battery critical, or too many bad attempts made, or whatever is setting off the alarm on the lock, which is kind of cool. These Yale locks are awesome. This backdoor one's been on there since December, and it's now April, and it's only at 78%, which I think is amazing, since my old quick set locks would barely last a month if I'm lucky. Here you have a log, last 50 events. I've just programmed it so there's nothing really there, but it will tell you the events, and if people unlock with codes, there is a user database that shows the name of the person who unlocks it. So whether it's me or whoever will actually have the username, which I'll show you soon. And then I have it here, so you can't really do much other than lock the whole house, because you don't want people just jumping on your touch panel, jumping on your tablet, whatever, and being able to mess with the locks and add users and stuff. That's obviously a security breach, so I made it so you type in a code here. So obviously I don't want to show mine. So once you get in here, it kind of gives you the status of the lock and then some, and all the settings for it. So you have the name of the lock, the status, the battery. Here you can, like if I hit lock, it takes maybe 5 seconds here. There it is. So it locks the door remotely, and I can do the same with unlocked. Volume, because it does talk to you and make little noises if you entered the code in wrong, or when it locks or unlocks or whatever, it does these little cool little sounds. And you can do the volume if you really want it high, low, whatever. Auto relock is after you unlock it, it can auto relock. My front door is never used other than for deliveries, so I have it on auto relock, so it's never left unlocked, which is a good thing in my mind. My back door is what I use all the time, or when I'm working on car or the property or whatever, I always leave that unlocked, so I obviously don't want it enabled for this lock. Here you have bad attempts, so if someone enters in bad passwords than the allowance, you can lock it out. So here I have 5 and 60, which is default, but I can turn the attempts up. I guess 7 is the most you can go to it, but I can program that to be higher. But then like here you can turn up the limit on how long it locks for. This button pops up whenever you make a change. The one lock touch means you can lock the door just by touching it. My back door lock is a touch screen, so you just kind of put the back of your hand on it and it will lock when you leave. And the front button's a push button, so you just hit any button and it will auto lock for you. So that's kind of cool. I like that feature. I don't know why you would disable that, but whatever. And then operating mode, normal is, well, normal. Vacation means that even if someone enters in the right code, it will not work. It's just like key only. You're on vacation. You don't want anyone touching your locks and so on. And privacy, I honestly can't remember what that does. I'm going off. I'm editing a pre-made module right now for this, so I'm kind of making it my own. But the privacy, I'm assuming, is everything but the master key. And then in the user management here, well, first I'll show you this. Here's the room list. So once again, lock the whole house if you want to. It glows if everything's locked. Here's little status icons, so a little stopwatch icons there because it's on auto lock. Shows the volume if you really shows the volume and then the battery and then the status of the lock. And then here you can see there's I guess I didn't do it for that one, but that's the alarm. Actually, I probably forgot to program in to hide it when there is no alarm, but this would pop up when there's an actual alarm event. As I said, if the lock's tampered with, low on battery, whatever the case is. And a little actual alert icon would pop up there. So obviously that's another thing I gotta edit, but I mean, that's not a big deal. And then the user management, which I just put in generic keys for the sake of making this video. There's the 2 users in the house, and you can edit and delete or whatever, and you can go add one. So I can click on this and then it pops up here, enter username, so I can type in test. And so it puts in test, and then I can click that, and then it pops up enter pin code, and then you make 6543. And then if you want to, you hold to update the lock. I'm not going to do that because I don't want these to save, but you can do that. And then you can save the list, retrieve the list, and so on. And just to show you what it's like, not that one. This one right here, that a little status bar pops up when it's updating, and then this is a text readout showing you what's going on, whether the list was saved, retrieved, refreshed, the lock was updated, whether it's updating at the time or whatever the case is. So that's kind of neat. And so that's basically the lock program I made. This is a work in progress. It's the alarm integration with my Honeywell 128 BPT. I got all my zones in here of all the alarm contacts around the house, but obviously the zone feedback's not working. It actually is, but you have to trip the zone after every time the processor rebooted, which, as I said, I was just programming, and then it will start working. But as for getting the current status on program startup, I have to work on that. And then here's the keypad, and I don't believe I have this working right now. That's just the installer code. Yeah, it's not working. Let's try it again. Yeah, I gotta work on the module. Here's the settings. You can change the different backgrounds if you really want to. Touch panel settings. This is just a shitty iPad, so there's not a whole lot of settings, but if it's a touch panel like this guy right there, it would have the different volumes and backlight and some other things there too. Control system is kind of just a log of, you know, what came online, what goes off offline, and so on. And you can do a hard reset and a soft reset from here, which is kind of cool. Obviously, if the system's completely locked up, you can't use this, but if, you know, sometimes the lights after a long uptime start to kind of get a little slow in response when you're hitting the key buttons, like that's one of the dimmers right there. You can see it's labeled, and you can see that the response is pretty good. and then when you hold it will dim down, although those are CFL, so I don't think they dim. Well, they might, but I can't remember what I got in there. So you can do that. This is a work in progress. I have an IP controlled power bar that actively checks network status and reboots things accordingly. So like if the internet goes down, it's not very aggressive, but after 2 minutes or whatever, just so it's not rebooting stuff when there's a little blip or anything like that. It will reset the Kojiko modem, ASUS router if that goes down, although it never does. That thing's pretty solid. And the CP3 if you ever wanted to remotely remotely cycle that. Obviously this is through the control system, so once again if the CP3 is down this won't work, but this is obviously accessible in other ways. I was playing around with that, but you need the higher end power bar to get that status. And they will have it eventually where you hold these and it will reset the equipment accordingly. And then down here, you can't see because I don't have any present, but the higher wattage shade power supplies, you can reset each channel. So as those become available, you can start resetting those if anything on your CrestNet bus starts glitching out, keypad, shades, whatever. So I obviously don't have that here, but that is programmed and would pop up if present. And then just a little about page. So I guess that's kind of it. There's in the top left there's the icons I was showing before. So like if I turn, and it goes by whatever room you're selected in each appropriate section. So like the light you can see goes off, goes on. If I turn on the music, you can see a little music icon turns on. If I go to the video zone and I go to the gym, so that's Kojiko cable. You can see now a TV's up there, and if I turn things off accordingly, it goes away. So there goes the music and the video and so on. And obviously I left one of my locks unlocked. Maybe not. So once again, another thing I got to look into, but not a big deal overall. It's just and eventually I'm going to make this open up a global status page of the whole system, which I think will be kind of cool. I think it keeps going out of focus. So that's just kind of a work in progress. It's more to do, obviously, but things are still coming along quite well. So anyways, enjoy.